Yellow, my name is Dallas, and this right here is a super awesome thrift haul that I brought home from the thrift store today. This is a bunch of World of Warcraft cards. Not only are we going to unbox these today, we're going to talk about this card game a little bit and talk about my future plans to collect some of this madness. So, stick around for that.
Wrapped up cards, yeah. World of Warcraft? Yeah.
I'll take those also, please.
Okay, well, a lot has happened. So I just got a bunch of World of Warcraft cards out of the lockbox up front, and then I come to the back. Look at here. Just tons more. And then hold this real quick. Look what I just found. Charmander, Bulbasaur, Meowth, Epsilon. I was gonna get there eventually. You boy Vegeta.
It's very important to understand before we get started that I have a very large interest in a very wide array of trading card games. This whole shelf behind me has countless numbers of card games. We're talking, here's a set of 2 laying over here. Here's some collectible stuff laying over here. Doesn't even belong over there. It just needs to be sorted. I've got a huge interest in this stuff. So a lot of the stuff that I bring home could seem pretty random, and I think this is pretty random right here. World of Warcraft is not a game that I played, and I'm talking about the actual online game. It's not something I played a lot. I played it when it was relatively new. I played with my brother for a trial version, but didn't continue playing after that. And then all those years passed. They remade the vanilla version of the online game, and me and my brother got into it again a little bit and played, played for a couple weeks, and it was fun, and I have fond memories of that. What are you doing? How's he doing that? Go ahead. Hold on, I really gotta take a moment. Oh my god. But I never had anything to do with the trading card game. But my problem is that I collect trading cards of all different kinds, so when I see an opportunity to own some large portion of a trading card game, I gotta jump in. So I'm officially a World of Warcraft collector now. Now, I want to show you what we've got here to look at. This was my collection before today, before this thrift haul. That's it right there. A couple hundred cards, nothing big, no big deal. But what's pretty funny about that, we set this down here. These are big bricks of cards right here, and they're all labeled. We'll go over that in a minute. But even if I hadn't found these big bricks, these were bags of cards hanging on the wall at the thrift store today. And that is actually more, you can see just to line it up, that is more cards than my collection currently was. So at any rate today, I was going to double, triple, quadruple my collection, no matter how you look at it. Very excited. So we're going to dig into those bags of cards. We're going to try to kind of take a look through some of these that I already have. And then we're just going to chat about the card game a little bit, because as much as I am interested in maybe perhaps Hannah and I on these episodes learning to play some of these random card games, I'm also just interested in the artwork, and maybe even one of these days making videos ranking my favorite art from card games and stuff. And I will say, I'm pretty fond of the art in these card games. So let's scoot these big bricks out of the way. Let's just rip these bags open real quick and just get a general sense of what we have. Maybe by the end, and you guys can let me know what you think if you have any idea from looking at this, because there's inevitably going to be a few people watching, I hope, that have a much bigger knowledge base about this game than I do. So maybe by the end of this video, we can figure out together what I have here. Was this just somebody's commons that they tried to sell at some sort of convention in these big bricks, and they couldn't get rid of them, so they got donated to the store? Were they some kids? Why are they wrapped up in this and labeled the way that they are is kind of the question that I have. There may be nothing rare in there. That's okay, because these are all going to probably end up in binders and in order by their numbers down here, and that's going to be fine by me. But I don't know what we have. We might have something special. I don't know. I'm very excited to find out, though. So let's just start shuffling through these so we can all get a look at them. And I'll stop when there's anything pretty that I think's worth looking at. I should probably keep them in the order they are, which I kind of need to be minding anyways. They don't seem to be in any sort of order, because number-wise here I've got 63, 97. They are the same set so far in this bag. They're all gladiators. That's pretty cool. Gladiators $199. Gladiators $158. Gladiators $21. So that's pretty cool. And I'm gonna have to probably make some follow-up content one day and just maybe show off my progress in collecting this game, because I will say, out of all the card games I had laying around before I started this channel, that stack of cards that I already had that I showed you was amongst the biggest. I mean, it's not that impressive, but it was a pretty big stack of cards. I didn't do the legwork to research what denotes rarity, but I'm seeing colors at the bottom that range from white to green to, I think I saw a red or something. So that's kind of an interesting thing to note, because, you know, Pokemon and everyone else has their own rarity system. And it's always nice to know when you get into collecting a new card game what to look for. I'm assuming white is common and green is uncommon, something to that effect. If it's not that, then I've got a lot of rares if white is rare, but I don't think that's the case. But so far, this entire bag has been Gladiators, and I like to see that. I'm very excited about these big bricks, because these sets, you know, this set here that I'm looking through is only 208 cards. And when I'm only interested in a game like this, kind of from a collecting standpoint and not so much a playing standpoint, I don't get too hyped up about too many specifics, like, you know, maybe this card has a lot of variations, hollows, non-hollows, and just because this isn't one of my biggest interests as far as card games go, I may not be obsessed when I get into collecting with getting each one. Maybe just one of each card will be nice. So that being said, who knows if most of the set isn't in here, because if this set, when we get it open, we find out the number for Portal cards in this set is a 150 card set, and I've got several hundred cards here, not a ton of doubles, that means we're going to have a lot of a set. That may not be the case. I'm definitely maybe dreaming about that, but that was pretty cool. That was all Gladiators. It looks like these that I already have sitting here are all kinds of different sets. I see Elements. I see, what does that even say? It's hard to read in the green. I see Alliance Paladin, Elements, Alliance Paladin, Elements, Tomb, Horde, and just several others. So I'll have to, once I get done with this video, perhaps go organize these cards back into these. But so far, I'm really enjoying just looking through these. I'm wondering if this next bag set is going to be the same set, a different set. What do we have? Okay, so right on top is a Wrathgate card. And Wrathgate, I'm just randomly selecting here Wrathgate. So this is all a series called Wrathgate. I'm very happy these are organized. It means I don't have to do it myself. Let's just make sure none of the numbers here are organized. Nope, we skipped from 42 to 90. To 117, well, that's kind of in order. Yeah, they're in no order. They're just jumping around. But this is a whole stack of Wrathgate, and I guess I could just kind of thumb through real quick. Let's just make sure not. If there's any bag that's just like full of hollows, I definitely want to set those aside and perhaps get them into card sleeves or something. But this is looking like a lot of commons and stuff. Very excited right now. So third bag before we get to the bricks. This set says Gladiators. Was that the first one? It's all Gladiators. So more Gladiators. So all of those could have went in one big, and perhaps right before they got donated, maybe they were, because that's all Gladiators there. There's some hollows. Oh, I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited to get these in some binders. So I guess we can jump into one of these bricks now. What, do you want to start with the biggest one? I say let's just start with the biggest one. We're going to create a mess here is what we're going to do. We're going to be buried in World of Warcraft cards. Nobody wants to be, well, maybe some of you want to be buried in Warcraft cards. I don't know, but I am definitely not leaving these in here. I definitely want to know what's in there. I got to know. I always wish to know the story about stuff like this. How did this happen? Who donated these and why? I have to know. So, I will say, and what little bit I know about this game, I know it ended not directly because of, but it ended being manufactured with some drama, is what I'm trying to say. There was a little bit of drama about some counterfeit cards right before this game got axed. And that's all very interesting. That being said, so here's some holo cards down here. These are right on the end, and quite unfortunately, since they were left on the end, they got bent up from being tossed around. That's a little bit unfortunate. These are almost all damaged. To watch them be the only hollows in that pack. There's a couple here that are salvageable. No big deal. That is some pretty artwork, though, I do think. That's very nice. But that's unfortunate. Look, do you see the bends of those? You can definitely see it on that one. Even some discoloration. So there's some water damage on that one. But they were on the end. And that's what happens when you have 5 pounds of cards. Very nice. So, as far as sets go, it said on the bag Dark Portal, and so far everything I'm seeing is Dark Portal, though they're not very well organized. They're just kind of tossed in here. Very nice. I will definitely have to go back through here, pull all the hollows out and sleeve them, perhaps. But these bricks seem to me to have a lot more hollows in them than those bags did. Don't know what that means, but it seems to be true thus far. I know I'm kind of going quick here. If you guys want to see any of this closer, be sure to let me know, and maybe over on the Rubber Duck Yellow Instagram or something, I can post pictures of anything. You know, there's bound to be a couple rare cards that exist for this card game. Whether or not they'll be in these bags, who knows? I have no idea, but I do know I love this. I love the artwork. I love it. I mean, I love the idea of Warcraft probably more than I do love the game. There's a very subtle holographic. And I do know that from what little I know about the mechanics of this card game, it does try to emulate the feel of the online game. So that I can appreciate that too. The first time I read some of the rules of the game, I'm really just, to be honest with you, I'm shuffling through here looking for hollows because I'm a shiny troll. I'm a troll for shiny things. What little I did consume of the rules and mechanics of this game, I certainly had an appreciation after learning about it. You know what? There's not a lot, but every handful of cards in here has some more of these slightly water damaged or bent cards. It's okay. It's good to know. I know what I'm dealing with now. I'm trying to say this 3 times. What little I do know about the mechanics of the game and stuff, it really made me appreciate that they tried to... Ooh, I flipped right to a hollow. Look at that beauty. They definitely try... I keep getting distracted. I'm like a dog. I'm like a raccoon that sees shiny things. They definitely tried to make this like the online game that you're used to. They tried to... There's versions of this game where you can play with friends and kind of... I don't say go on quests, but like group plays. And I mean, what is World of Warcraft about online if it's not about playing with a group of people and Leroy Jenkins and it up? I didn't think about that. If there's a Leroy Jenkins card in here, I will lose my mind. If you don't know what that is, Google it. You'll have a good time going down a rabbit hole. I'll have to look at what set that's in. I'll have to give it a Google. I'll Google what World of Warcraft set is Leroy Jenkins in. There's another bendy one. And I'll have to go find out if I have it. What if I did? What if I just flipped over to Leroy Jenkins? There's a bunch of hollows in this stack, I'm telling you. I cannot wait to start putting these in order. You know, and the thing I'm going to have to figure out too, and you always have to figure this out anytime you get into collecting a new card game. What do they do with variations? Do I need to be looking for a hollow variation of this, a non-hollow variation, a reverse hollow, etc., etc.? I personally prefer it when they just keep hollow cards hollow, non-hollow cards non-hollow. And you know, from a collecting standpoint, I've got several of these. From a collecting standpoint, that makes things a lot simpler, doesn't it? But you just never know. With Pokemon, anything they really want you... If a card manufacturer is more worried about having a cool game, they won't have 3 variations of everything. If they're worried about you buying more packs, they make 3 variations out of everything. It's just how that goes, right? But I haven't noticed a lot. I haven't really noticed any yet that had both hollow and non-hollow, but we'll see. We'll see as we go there. And we are still looking through Dark Portal right now, so I'm not going to show every card. We have thousands of cards to go through, so I'm just making sure I don't see anything special and making sure that the words Leroy Jenkins don't come across my eyes. Look at that beauty. So look at this. Holy crap. So this was the end that I picked up and they were bent up. Look, I'm this far in and most of them were hollows. Holy cow. Let's peruse back through there one more time. I'll give you a slightly closer look. You know, we can do a little zoom. That's as close as we get, I guess. Okay, Cyclone, Hootie. Where's the Blowfish? Waz, look, I've got a bunch of that holo, dude. And again, several of those. A lot of these holos are repeating, so that's not the most exciting thing in the world. Though it is a little bit exciting because I'll be keeping one of everything. I'll be keeping a couple starter decks sleeved. And then everything else I will be putting in little baggies, and we'll actually resell them in our flea markets that we resell in. And I'll probably make a good little bit of extra money out of all of my doubles here. So that'll be fun. I think we've seen enough of this Dark Portal set. I definitely need to keep them all together because I don't want to get these two mixed up, because I will be pretty directly, as soon as I'm done with this video, I'll be going through and I will be sorting these into binders and stuff and trying to keep one of everything. I'm kind of getting to the point where it's becoming financially impossible for me to buy enough card sleeves. I'd love to sleeve them all in penny sleeves at least, but this is a whole wall of trading cards behind me, and I'm only going to be able to sleeve the stuff I care about the most, which, let's be honest, it's my Pokemon cards. So there's that. But let's jump into this set now. World of Warcraft TCG Outland, and I kind of guess I appreciate that they put... Why is this card on the outside? It's not even Outland, it's Wrathgate. I'm not sure why they made that choice. This is Wrathgate card, rubber band, Outland. I don't understand, but it's a choice somebody made. Now, how are we going to tear into this one? I want to be careful here, and I hope the edge cards here aren't damaged, and I also hope that they put most of the holos to one side. That made life pretty easy. Not that holos are all that matter here. These are even holy crap, look, these are so disorganized. No, you know what? Maybe I'm hating too soon. I forget this card game has some double-sided cards. So those are in here. That's what those are, double-sided cards. And then I guess maybe this was just an organizational tactic of someone else. Look at these edge cards, damaged. Were they damaged before they were put in there? They're all holos and they're all damaged. I don't know why that happened. I'm very curious. There's some pretty full art. Well, near full art. I don't guess it's technically full-on full art, but again, a lot of holos there at the edge. They're all repeating though, so who knows if maybe every holo I have is just some of that starter deck stuff. It's not something I know enough. This game's not something I know enough about to really be able to say either way, but I sure am happy to have all of this as cheap as I got it. We've got 2 more bricks after this one. And I'm just going to give a quick slide through here just so we kind of know what's in there. I'm telling you, I'm going to come back and make a whole video about it if there turns out to be a Leroy Jenkins in here. I'm just hoping one person watches this video and knows what the heck I'm talking about. And I hope the rest of you go Google it, because Leroy Jenkins is one of the best pop culture phenomenons that ever happened. One of my favorite TV shows... Just looking for holos, baby. One of my favorite TV shows is Psych. You should go check out Psych if you haven't seen it. And there's a couple different good Leroy Jenkins moments in Psych that were pretty funny. Okay, we're gonna go for 2 more bricks here, and then we'll try to come to a conclusion about what I've got here. I think we'll put our best guesses in. World of Warcraft TCG Onyxia Welf. Okay. Oh no! Is that a starter deck? Let's go. I hope this is a complete... If this is a complete starter deck, it's going right in sleeves. This will be what Hannah and I set aside to play. I hope there's more in here. Okay, so far nothing else in here is sleeved. But this does say Onyxia. Onyxia? So this does belong in there, so that's good. I hope there's another deck in here somewhere. Pumped about that. But I don't know how I'm going to figure out what it is without opening it up. We're trying to also, mind you, interestingly, very interestingly, I've never seen this before. All the fronts of these cards are gold. Now, I don't know... First reactions, it's a later set. these are just completely different sets, and there's maybe some new mechanics in this game, which it looks like, because I've never even seen one of these full text cards. I've never come across that, so maybe this is a different mechanic version of the game. Maybe there's something different in the game that is denoted by this, and maybe these can't play against this. I don't know. This is all stuff we'll have to figure out together in future videos. I really don't know. But I'm happy. I'm excited about it nonetheless. Let's see if we can get in here. I guess I'm going to have to tear it open like I did the other one. Oh, yes. There are more sealed ones. Are they the same thing? They look to be the same thing. What if these loose cards are just this repeating? I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. These are two different ones. We may have two whole starter decks. We just may have. That's so great for me because I don't want to go out and spend the money on that if I don't have to. And we want to... Holy crap. Is that all the same card? Those are all the same card. Anexia Wealth. Oh. Ally token. So those are token cards. Got it. We're figuring this out as we go. And then more of these full text cards. All gold. Very interesting. Well, that was the most interesting one of those that we opened up yet. Now, let's jump into this last one. Drums. I've heard that tossed around when referencing this card game. I've certainly heard that reference. So maybe this is the good stuff. I don't know. Let's jump into it and find out. Oh, yes. So, drums, yep, they're all the right set. They're all labeled drums. Be nice if there were some more starter decks in here. I haven't really seen any hollows yet. Ooh, there's some. Alamo. And honestly, the text on these seem a little bit different. I immediately notice either a different or slightly larger font. Maybe it's just the type of cards those are. Or, like I said, there's a little bit of history surrounding this game with fake cards. Could we have some fake cards here? That'd be interesting. Here's some more roughed up hollows. Why are half of the hollows in this set roughed? Alright, well, that's going to be the end of that. Now let's talk about it. Okay, it's actually a week or two later. I might have lost track of time just a little bit. But I decided instead of jumping right into a wrap-up of this video, I was going to actually take some time to put the cards together in my binder, which I've done here, and we're going to look through that a little bit. But also, this was unintentional, but I did, taking so long to put that together, I learned a lot more about some of the stuff that you just saw. Or maybe not a lot more, maybe a little bit more. I think the biggest thing I learned about World of Warcraft trading card game is that there's a lot more for me to learn. So let's talk about a couple things. The first thing I want to talk about is these weird gold rim decks that I got several of in that one package. I finally figured out what they are. This is called a raid deck, and it comes in a box that looks like this, though I don't have the one that it came in. This is their starter deck box, which I must say, of all the TCGs that I'm involved in, which at this point are many, favorite deck box ever made. So they'll just come in packages like that. All their pre-built starter decks will. That's pretty awesome. However, though this did come in one of these, it wasn't exactly a starter deck. This is actually a multiplayer game format where one person will be the big boss baddie and then all the other players will play against them. So that's awesome. That's a really cool playing format. And I don't know enough about Magic the Gathering, like off the top of my head, to say I have a lot of knowledge on the other playing formats besides the regular format of the game, but I know they have other formats. I know they have Commander and stuff like that. I don't know if they have anything quite like that in Magic. I'm sure as long as it's been around they have something, but I will say I find that really intriguing. Almost mostly just because it just makes it, as I kind of alluded to earlier in the video, it just makes it a lot more like the actual online game, right? That's pretty cool. So it was really interesting that there were so many of these in that package. There's 4 or 5 different sets sealed in there, and then there was 2 more sets open. So I've got all these I'll ever need. I don't know why I'd ever need more than one. But I got 10 of them, so it's probably stuff I'll be packaging up and reselling. I don't know, but that was really interesting. And then I guess the last thing to note about the raid decks is that they do have these gold borders, which I imagine kind of like, you know how the Pokemon World Championship decks come with a different card back. These don't have a different card back, but they have a different front. I guess just to denote, they're from those raid decks, and you're not supposed to use them in regular play. I imagine that's what that's for. That was an interesting thing to note. I kind of figured that out after the fact, after having dug through all those. And that's pretty cool. And while I'm on that note of what the cards look like, this is kind of interesting, because see here how we've got a Blizzard symbol, and we've got an Upper Deck symbol. I alluded a little bit to the fact earlier on in the video that there was some drama when the cards were being printed. As far as I can tell, Upper Deck was actually counterfeiting some cards and stuff, and there was some real drama, some real nasty stuff. And so Blizzard ended up printing them themselves later on. So you saw how that card had Upper Deck symbol. Well, here is one that has Blizzard in both sides rather than having Upper Deck in the other corner. We put that back where it goes so I don't lose track of it. I have spent a lot of time organizing these cards, so I figured since we got all that out of the way, we could kind of just take a look through this whole big binder. Now, mind you, I should kind of pick this up so you can see about how thick it is. This is my thickest binder of cards to date. This is pretty wild, I think. And I don't have any complete sets. I've got a couple sets here that I think I would say are impressively close to complete. So Outlands goes to about here, and I would say 7 out of 10 pages in the back. I would say most of the back half is complete. In the first half, every other page is missing 1 or 2. So, you know, I'm pretty far in there. If I bring home a couple more hauls of like that set, again, I'm gonna have a lot of this set. I've put post-it notes on here to mark where the set starts. So like here's drums, missing a few on the first page, missing several there, missing several, you know, I'm nowhere near complete on sets like this. I imagine a lot of those stacks I brought home were just big stacks of commons, so I kind of imagine, you know, when I do find this stuff and bring it home, it's probably going to be a few more hollows and a few more nice cards. But it goes on like that, you know. I've got a lot of it. I feel like it's a pretty impressive number, you know. That set drums, I don't have very many complete pages, but like there's one, and it looks pretty good. Interestingly, I didn't really set one aside to look at. I'm gonna pull this out real quick to show you hollow, non-hollow. That's pretty simple, right? One of my biggest frustrations with the game since putting all this together, since a couple weeks ago when I shot the first half of this video, has been that it's been a little bit difficult to kind of track down, check properly compiled and official checklists of variants of cards, and that has been a little frustrating for me. I'm trying to find one of these. I should have set one aside, but there's the variants I have. Almost every other time there's a variant in here, there's actually 3. I've got so many cards that have 3 variants, and I'm not really sure why. It seems to me like maybe a third variant of a card came in a starter deck, but they weren't labeled for a starter deck. They were compiled of cards from the set. So that just, you know, that is what it is, but it's a little bit frustrating. So there's, here in my big book of cards, there's a few that I have triples of in one sleeve. And, you know, that's cool. I'll figure it out one day, or maybe I'm thinking with this set, maybe I won't even worry about it that much. I think maybe I'll just go for complete on this set and make sure I have at least 1 copy of everything. And if ever I come home with a second copy of anything, I'll put it in the sleeve where it goes. See, let's find one more hollow to show you what I've chosen to do so far. I've just put the hollow front, and then I've stuck the non-hollow in the back in the same sleeve just to keep up with it. But if I ever get it complete and I know I don't have all the variants, I'm probably still going to walk around bragging, hey, I have the complete World of Warcraft set. And if anyone pushes me on it, I'll just have to eat my words, because I have so many card games that I collect. Look at all this stuff around me. I don't know that I need to be bothered with the complete set of these cards. I probably shouldn't bother myself. I'm just trying to get to some of the other sets here. There were definitely a couple sets that were more near complete. Like this one starts off pretty strong, and kind of like the other one, it gets weaker towards the back. Yeah, I'm just flipping these so you can see through them. how many cards are missing. And then, you know, like here, well, maybe that was backwards on that one. Here towards the middle of the set, there starts being full pages. But that was the bulk of the work because there's so many cards in there. But the last couple sets I put in here, they have even less. So here is the set called Tomb, which is a 292 card set. And there's a whole lot of cards missing in there, right? I don't have the biggest portion of that. Like there's some almost entirely blank pages. But that's okay because I put so much of this together just from the thrift already that I don't at all think I'm going to have a problem over the next several years as I continue to make these videos. I don't think I'm going to have a lot of problem bringing home bulk sets of this because there's not a lot of value for this right now. If the value ever goes up, maybe I'll have trouble. But right now, I feel pretty comfortable collecting in this way. So there you go. I'm pretty happy that I waited to make this wrap up because there was just so much more to know. And this isn't my be-all, end-all video about the World of Warcraft trading card game. I will certainly in the near future make more videos about it most likely as I bring more cards home to put into this collection and to talk about. But we're certainly going to make an episode one of these days, Hannah and I playing the game once we learn how to. It's not very high on our list. We've got several more games we're going to get to first. But I think it will be fun when we do get to that video because I imagine by the time that we do, I'll have so many cards to choose from. We can build some pretty clever decks. I feel like it would be the ultimate challenge to try to build a deck from the whole entire set. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people out there that can do that kind of thing with as many card games as we will by the time we're done with all this madness. But guys, thanks for watching. Pretty please do comment below before we get out of here. Do you have any attachment to this game whatsoever? Did you find anything interesting about these cards as we went through them? More so than my other YouTube channel, I'm really hoping to get interactions out of you guys about what you're into and what you're not, so that we can kind of, I aim for togetherness on this channel. I want to have an audience talking to me about the stuff, the games and the stuff we're doing, and help me sort of drive towards where we're going. And if you just talk to me a little bit in the comments, I think we'll get that done because I'm so excited about these. I have several times just had this book in my bed while watching TV, just flip through some pages, you know, just looking at that artwork because there's so much awesome artwork in these sets. I mean, just so beautiful. So before we go, make sure to drop that comment below and also do me a couple favors. Check out our public Discord. Come over there and show me some pictures of your collections, maybe whether it be this card game or another one. Come over there and surprise me with something that I don't even know exists. That would be awesome. Then also before we go, please hit the subscribe button. We zoomed right past 1,000 subs pretty easy. I'd love to climb to maybe 4,000 or 5,000 before this year's over. That would make me feel pretty good. It would be really great. So hit that subscribe button, guys, and then come back for the next video. Make sure those notifications are on. We're doing lots of live unboxing some cards. We're gonna do some like Dragon Ball Z stuff again real soon. So be here for that. And until then, guys, peace out.